This video we are going to see about what is phase difference and what are phases, how to do calculations using phases. So now in the diagram shown you can see two alternating quantities represented as sinusoidal waveforms EM1 and EM2, and they are also represented by two phases EM1 and EM2. Phasor representation makes calculations easier. In the phasor diagram you can see OA here and OB here. How can you say that OA is moving ahead or OB is moving behind? Phasors normally by concept they are considered to rotate in the counterclockwise direction. So therefore from the diagram you can say OA is going ahead of OB by an angle 5 radians. So these two quantities are represented by these two phases. Now you have to how to find out from the sinusoidal waveforms there is a phase difference between the quantities and whether which one is lagging and which one is leading. So in this case you can see EM1 we have taken as EM1 starting at t equal to 0, it's equal to 0. EM1 is equal to 0. It is taken as reference. At t equal to 0 you can see the value of EM2. It is not 0 but it is some other value on the negative y-axis. See the equations representing these two quantities. EM1 instantaneous value is equal to maximum value into sin omega t. EM1 sin omega t. At t equal to 0 this vanishes because sin 0 is equal to 0. At t equal to 0, what about this EM2? This is EM2 sin phi minus phi. So minus EM1 sin phi, which is a negative value. Only after an angle of 5 radians, EM2 reaches 0 value. So therefore EM2 is said to lag EM1 by an angle of 5 radians. Since we have taken this as reference quantities, they will see, we will always make reference quantities starting at 0 at t equal to 0. So therefore OB lags behind OA by an angle of 5 radians. See the maximum value at pi by 2, this EM1 reaches its maximum value, whereas EM2 reaches its maximum value after 5 radians, that is pi by 2 plus 5. So this is what is called as phase difference between the two quantities, and here it is OB is lagging behind OA by an angle of 5. Suppose instead of EM1 if we take EM2 as reference, then EM1 will be leading EM2 by an angle of 5 radians. So both are same. So in this case two quantities are said to be in phase. When they are said to be in phase, if both start at the same time, reach the maximum value at the same time. So here with pencil I have drawn a diagram. That is another quantity which is in phase with EM1. The starting point, they start at the same time, reach the maximum value at the same time, reach again 0 at the same time, again negative maximum value at the same time, and again reaches 0 at the same time. See another quantity which is the mirror image of EM1, that is said to be out of phase because it starts after 180 degrees. There is a phase difference of 180 degree between EM1 and that quantity. So if phi is equal to 180 degrees, that is called as out of phase. The two quantities are said to be out of phase. If phi equal to 0, the two quantities are said to be in phase. See this diagram. Here OC is drawn leading OA by an angle of 5 radians. So again OA EM1 is taken as reference. I have drawn one more sinusoidal quantities which is EM3. So EM3 has reached its 0 value even before EM1, and at t equal to 0 EM3 is equal to EM3 sin phi. It has a positive value. At t equal to pi by 2 it reaches its maximum value even before that is not at t equal to pi by 2. At theta equal to pi by 2, EM1 reaches its maximum value, whereas EM3 reaches its maximum value before 5 radians, that is before pi by 2 minus 5. Before reaching pi by 2, it reaches its maximum value. So therefore, EM3 leads EM1 by an angle of 5 radians. This is what is said to be phase difference of two alternating quantities. Now we will see how to do a problem with phasor by using with the help of phasors. Phasors are vectors which rotate. So they complete one rotation when the sinusoidal quantity completes one cycle. They have a magnitude equal to the maximum value of the sinusoidal quantity. They always move in the counterclockwise direction. So that is why we are saying that OA is leading OB by an angle of 5 radians, because OA is ahead of OB. Here OC is leading OA by an angle of 5 radians, or OB is lagging OA by an angle of 5 radians. OA is lagging OC by an angle of 5 radians. So hope you understood what is phase difference. Now we will see calculation of currents using a problem. So here two currents they have given, I1 and I2. I1 equal to 10 sin omega t plus pi by 4 ampere. I2 equal to 8 sin omega t minus pi by 3 ampere. Find I1 plus I2. So this sinusoidal quantity is represented by a phasor. I1 equal to 10 angle pi by 4 or 10 angle 45 degrees. I2 phasor is equal to 8 angle minus pi by 3 or 8 angle minus 60. So this plus pi by 4 minus pi by 3, they all indicate that there is some other reference. So we have drawn x-axis as a reference. X-axis is drawn with a pencil. You cannot see it clearly. See, it will be, this is resultant vector. So x-axis is drawn with a pencil. With respect to x-axis, first vector is ahead by pi by 4. Second, that is I2. I2 is behind by pi by 3. Now two phasors. Phasors addition is similar to vector addition. How to add the two phasors or two vectors? Complete the parallelogram. Parallelogram law of addition. If you complete the parallelogram and draw the diagonal, you will get the resultant vector, and it is calculated as root of a square plus b square plus 2ab cos of the angle between the two phasors. So angle between the two phasors is pi by 3 plus pi by 4. Calculated as 11.07 ampere. That is the magnitude of this phasor. So whenever you do calculations with phasors, you have to write not only the magnitude but also the angle. So now angle, how will you calculate the angle of this resultant vector with respect to x-axis? Y-axis, y coordinate divided by x coordinate, and tan inverse of that will give you the angle with the x-axis. So that is obtained as 0.724 degrees. So therefore the answer is 11.07 angle 0.724 amperes.